Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare your ear holes for the best wrestling podcast in the world. It's time for the Hard-Hitting Wrestling Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hard-Hitting Wrestling Show. I'm Obi Muniz, and with me is Big Jace and our wrestling analyst, Hector Vasquez.
Hey.
So, hey, long story short, we're going to cut this introduction to the extreme shortness. Survivor Series this Sunday, 8 o'clock, WWE Network Eastern Time. It is on, and quite frankly, it's not even over yet because this Friday on SmackDown, we may have a repeat of what happened on Wednesday night at NXT with Raw,
oh yes,
SmackDown, NXT going at it from start to finish. And NXT actually beat AEW for the ratings, which is tremendously a big plus for WWE and a big minus for AEW for all the talks of them being dominants. Finally, you know, we got to at least say probably thank you to Triple H for turning the wheel and making it to a positive note that, hey, with all the brands in place, NXT is really for real on this one.
Yes. Yeah, this is probably... I've been a very strong advocate the past while now saying NXT is the best product WWE is putting out.
And at the beginning, these superstars are trying to do their best to get to the Raw and SmackDown platforms. Now they don't have to because now they are their own brand. They're on Channel USA, and they're making a lot of noise. Hector, what's your point on NXT now?
You know, at first, excuse me, I was kind of skeptic about it. You know, I felt like these kids needed to earn their stripes. You know, they came around in 2010, and now we're in 2019, 9 years. But I think this is good for business. You know, I was going to play devil's advocate with this, but to think about it hard and long, I think this is great for business. You know, these young kids are showing that, hey, we belong here. You know what I'm saying? You know, and think about everybody who came before them, who made it up to the ranks. You know, I think this is real good for, you know, the WWE in general. You know, what Triple H is doing here is great, you know, an all-out war, you know, between the brands, you know, because really, who else is there to war with? You know, there's nobody out there anymore, you know. The McMahons took everybody down, and now all he has is himself. You know, I'm sorry, but AEW don't have nothing to do with comparison with this. So he has nothing but to feud with himself, and I like it. You know what I'm saying? A big old rumble in the house. So, yeah, I think it's great.
And for those that weren't WWE Network subscribers, you know, that their main platform was just that alone. And now that they have seen NXT going on television, on USA and going on Fox, you know, they made their presence known. Yeah. And now you got a lot of people following NXT Wednesday night. And this is the reason why they had the highest rating Wednesday night out of all television. So I know for a fact that there was no superstar disrespecting NXT because half the roster of WWE are from NXT. Yeah. You know, that was just a baseball farm system. You went from AAA to the majors. That's what boils down to. But now everyone is equal, and this is a toss-up. The match cards that we're going to talk about for the Survivor Series when we make our predictions is going to be phenomenal because for the first time in the longest, you really don't know exactly who has the advantage to win.
Yeah.
You know? So we're all said and done. Let's get to it. Let's focus on the Survivor Series. We don't even know the order of match, but I can only assume, that the men's, elimination match, 5-team elimination match will be the main event for the Survivor Series because you have Seth Rollins, you have Roman Reigns, and you have Ciampa. Now, NXT has not made their names yet. So they're the only brand that does not have a 5-man team on the roster yet. But we'll soon find out after War Games to see who's those 5. And who knows if the Raw or SmackDown will intervene War Games.
Yeah,
and you had called it a couple of episodes ago that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So, but it's still leaning to Ciampa, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle. I mean, those three. Hey, Matt Riddle is by far my favorite wrestler in NXT. He really is. I mean, that charisma that he has, that toughness that he presents himself. I wish he could be on Raw or SmackDown.
Him and Keith Lee, that's a fun combination.
Who would expect a guy weighing that much to be able to jump over the top ropes and do a flip and land on the superstars like he did Wednesday night?
Now imagine Viking Raiders against Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. That makes my mouth salivate. That is a wondrous matchup. And yeah, I agree with you. These guys, I want to see them on the main roster.
So let's go ahead and let's start with our very first match, something that has nothing to do with the brands. This is for the the WWE Heavyweight Championship match between Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio, which is supposedly breaking news on Monday Night Raw that it was a no-holds-barred, no disqualification match.
That's interesting. I mean, you know for a fact after the way everything went down in Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel, how Rey Mysterio came out. And we haven't seen anything from Kane. We haven't seen anything from Dominic. You better bet that this no holds bar, this no disqualification match will bring, like you mentioned earlier before the show starts, the Familia will come and they will defend Rey Mysterio. And I'm interested to see. I mean, Brock Lesnar is a beast. I think Brock Lesnar's going to win. I mean, would I love to see Rey Mysterio get the get the WWE Championship around his waist? Yeah, I love Rey Mysterio. Would I like to see him have one more run or one more chance to hold that in his hands before he retires and all that stuff? Yes. Is it going to happen? No.
So you're claiming Brock Lesnar is going to remain the champion?
Despite Cain Velasquez, despite Dominic, despite Rey Mysterio using that lead pipe, Brock is a beast, and he will stay the beast with the belt.
All right, what do you say there, Hector?
Yeah, I agree. I don't even see this match lasting that long. I mean, what has Rey Mysterio done lately? Besides just come out and do all this talking. So I don't even see this match lasting too long. I know it's a no-holds bar and stuff like that, but honestly, I don't see this match lasting too long. I see Brock Lesnar winning this match hands down.
I don't know which to decide. I really don't know if, by all means, Kane comes out and helps Rey Mysterio. I think the key indicator here is that it wasn't so much about no holds barred, is that there's no disqualification, and it's not like someone is on Brock Lesnar's side. I think this match has Rey Mysterio an advantage. So I'm gonna lean because no one's really talking about this match. There's no set focus.
NXT versus,
and so I think that maybe this will blow up to make it a big deal because this is a title. So was not to say Rey Mysterio wins it and then loses it the next day. We've seen that before. Yeah. So I'm gonna lean over to Rey Mysterio winning this match, and because it's in Chicago.
All right. Okay. Back-to-back pay-per-views with surprise title changes, I just don't see it happening.
Well, we'll
see, though.
This is what I do see happening. And Hector, you got this one. The Universal Championship, The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, The Fiend, I like the way The Fiend went in and changed the belt to the blue brand. I mean, I think that was pretty sweet, to get rid of that red. But yeah, I just think The Fiend's going to win this match. I mean, I know there's a lot of speculations of what they're trying to do with The Fiend, I mean, I know there's been even rumors that it could be a possible turn that he goes babyface, but I think right now with him just being the heel and the champion, he just winning that belt at Crown Jewel, being a surprise to everyone that he won that title. I see a great match happening, You know, them two has faced off before. They've had great matches in the past. They've even had to work together because, you know, with Daniel Bryan having to go to the Wyatt family and everything. But I think this is going to be a great, you know, match. But I think at the end of it, I think the Fiend is just going to stand tall with that title, you know, over his head, showing his dominance. And I don't think that's going to even be the end of it. I think that's just going to be the start of him just, you know, hounding on Daniel Bryan. He's just trying to get that yes movement back. And I think we are going to see that pretty soon because, you know, he's still lingering back and forward, you know, telling people he's not going to do that, but I think that's what the Fiend is bringing out, and I think it's going to be a great thing to see that. So yeah, I think Bray Wyatt is going to win this match.
Well, I love the Fiend. I've been a Fiend fan ever since the whole rebranding. But the one thing in this match that Hector did not mention was Sami Zayn and Shinsuke have been in Daniel Bryan's ear. They've been trying to force him over to the dark side, as you would say. But I think that might play a little bit. I think there might be something to tease that or something. But with that being said, do they come out? Yes. Do they try and help? Maybe. But the Fiend is not human. The Fiend is not human. No one takes that many curb stomps and survives. No one gets covered in all that stuff in Hell in a Cell and hit with a sledgehammer and survives. No human does, but the Fiend does. And the Fiend will reign supreme and take down whoever comes to help Daniel Bryan.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Nobody's showing up for Daniel Bryan on this one. Shinsuke has a match already. They're not even gonna bother. Sami Zayn ran away when he saw the Fiend. He's scared of the Fiend. He ain't gonna show up. You know, the area's gonna turn red. The arena's gonna be red. It's all in favor of the Fiend. And I'll be surprised if this match lasts long. This is a short match, all towards the Fiend. Bray Wyatt's gonna win. Plain and simple. Moving on to the women's champion, Becky Lynch. Raw, Bayley, SmackDown, and Shayna Baszler, NXT. Wow. I mean, this match could be a potential main event because this is like the best match in the women's division in a very, very long time. And I'm going to lead the way on this one. It's very hard to choose. I feel like Bayley has to do a lot more to gain that respect between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler, she's badass, man. She really is.
She is.
And she's been dominant from start to finish, making her known. And she is showing some respect to Becky Lynch. She has. You know, I mean, why not? She's been targeting Bayley, you know, but at the same time, Bayley, you know, Bayley is the underdog out of all three. But if I have to pick and choose, at the end of the day, at the end of the night, we're going to see Becky Lynch is going to be the one on top. She's the most popular one there. She's the man, and she's going to prove it again, once again, that she's going to be the best woman in the WWE.
I disagree with you there. Is Becky Lynch the head honcho in WWE? Yes. Is she the top dog? Yes. Now, the only thing that makes me disagree with that is you got to look at the circumstances between the wrestlers here. Bayley has Sasha. Shayna Baszler has Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, the other parts of the horsewomen of MMA. Will Charlotte Flair come out and help Becky? Because they've been together a little bit. They've been teasing that. No, that will not happen. Number advantage gets the win. Shayna Baszler is the future of the women's division, and she gets the win here. NXT takes over Survivor Series.
Ooh, okay. Actor, you're up, man.
Yeah, batter's up, eh? You're right. Bailey is the underdog here. And I think that's where they're both overlooking her. I know what you're saying, Ovi, that, she don't have the credibility yet. But I think this right here, a win over the man and over the NXT Women's Champion, I think this will put her up and over and let everybody know that she is for real. So I'm going the opposite way, and I'm going with Becky on this one. I think the underdog, the one who's being overlooked, is going to sneak out away. Even if she has to let this play out to where she's not even involved, she's going to take advantage where she needs to take advantage. It's always been Becky and the other one, always going back and forward, just leaving old Bailey out of it like she ain't nothing. But they forget she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. So I think she's going to pull this one out and pull the upset.
Okay, yeah. Let me correct you real quick. You did say Becky. Do you mean Bailey?
Bailey, yes.
All right. Because you had me confused there for a second. All right.
The bees, yeah.
I thought I was talking to Frank, but, Frank is not here.
No.
Sorry, Frank. He's our other guy that couldn't be with us tonight. Sorry. Man, poor Frank. Yeah. So we'll get his picks later on. I'll post his picks on social media as soon as the show is over. Because it's pretty interesting what he had chosen. So hopefully at the aftermath.
It's always interesting when Frank picks.
We're going to get him back in next week so he can explain himself. All right. Mid-card possibility is the next match with AJ Styles, United States Champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Intercontinental Champion, versus Roderick Strong, the North American Champion. Now, these three were added a week ago. I guess it was like a fill-in. Which surprised me because I feel as though the right person to lead Raw is supposed to be AJ Styles. Okay? Just because AJ Styles and the OCs went in retaliation to NXT and made a lot of noise to the Undisputed Era and put them in their place. Okay? And not to mention that during their match on NXT, the fourth person showed up. Finn Balor helped out the OCs, even though Adam Cole was the last man standing, okay? But there is so much built into this that I was disappointed that this match even existed, all right? But champions versus champion, it does make sense. It's a Survivor Series. There's like the second-level champions, as I call it.
The mid-card champions for a reason.
Yeah, they are, just because the other belts are not, they're on the line already. But now we have AJ Styles, Nakamura, Strong. Hector, you lead the way on this pick. Who's your man?
I like AJ Styles, hands down. Okay? Ever since this whole NXT takeover, it has been AJ Styles and the OC who's been the leaders in trying to retaliate. Okay? It is, to me, a little disappointment that Seth Rollins is the captain of Raw, and yet him and his team cannot come out and retaliate every time Raw gets jumped on. But it is AJ Styles and OC who's showing up on NXT. Whether or not they're getting whooped, it doesn't matter. They are showing leadership. They're going out there and saying, look, we're not going to take no for an answer, okay? And they've gotten the better hand, and they've gotten the lesser of the hand. But I like AJ Styles to win this match, hands down. I think he is a true leader, even though he's the United States champion. But right now, as of all this Survivor Series talk, I think he's the true leader of Raw right now, and he's showing it as the United States champion.
This match comes down, again, to what I've been saying. There's going to be an outside presence. OCs for AJ Styles. Cesaro and Sammy for Shinsuke Nakamura. And Roderick Strong with the Undisputed Era. Now, I do think that we might even see Finn Balor come make his way. And like you mentioned, how he did come in NXT. but he never put up the Too Sweet.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did he? Okay.
When he
Oh, yes,
when he
you're
did
right.
that, he did a little firing pistol and
yes,
stuff
okay.
like that. He is always,
All right.
always. That's brotherhood
Okay.
for life.
All right, but that's not going to change my pick. He'll be there, but the one thing that will happen is the Messiah of the Backbreaker, Roderick Strong, will sneak in there, take a sneaky little victory as NXT TakeOver Survivor Series will continue.
That's good and all. I'm glad that you mentioned it, but that's not going to happen. And I'm going to agree with Hector. AJ Styles is the man out of all WWE. He's the... What was his saying when he was on SmackDown? He is the face that runs the place.
The house
That AJ Styles built. All right, man, my bad. Now he's going to do the same thing on Raw. But overall, you just cannot diss AJ Styles of all the things he has done. He is the only active wrestler with the OCs to be, from start to finish, from when they started after Saudi Arabia, all right, to make his presence. And you just can't do it. With Shinsuke Nakamura, we didn't even hear this guy. All right? He's in the back burner. He's somewhere. And if he was to come out victorious, I'm sorry. It's just not happening. This is what I see. AJ Styles becoming champion, will remain United States champion, and then later down the road for the next TLC match or something like that, and whatever NXT has got going on, you're going to see brand new champions because they're not going to be worthy enough to hold that title. The next best thing that's going on is the men's tag team champions, the Viking Raiders for all, the New Day from SmackDown, and the Undisputed Era from NXT. Is it my turn to lead off on this one or you?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll take it. It's a triple threat match. The Viking Raiders don't do well on a triple threat match. They do well and undefeated when it comes to one-on-one. All right? But I got to say, man, and I hate to do this. I really didn't want to do this. But the New Day, there was a reason why they won them belts. I think they were better fit to be in this title run. So I'm going to say the New Day because they are the 7-time champions.
The past couple weeks, I have said, you can argue Biggie and Kofi might be the best tag team ever. One of the best duos ever in WWE. With that being said, the Undisputed Era are... I see them as the new Nexus. They are coming in. They're taking over. Mm-hmm. And Triple H is leading the way. And... I mean, Viking Raiders, I love the Viking Raiders. But you mentioned it. They can't get it done in a triple threat match. Now, what I am expecting here is NXT Survivor Series TakeOver to continue and the Undisputed Era to shock the system and beat the Viking Raiders and the New Day.
All right, Hector.
I have to agree with Jace. As much as I hate to say it, I mean, I think the Undisputed Era has the numbers advantage in this match. I mean, yeah, it was kind of... I would have preferred to see the Revival in this, but after what I saw when they faced off on NXT, it was like, well, okay, then maybe it's not fitted for them to be in the Survivor Series like this. But like I said, I think it's just a numbers game, and you know, the Undisputed Era, they have the numbers, you know, and I totally agree with both of what you said. The Viking Raiders don't fare well in this kind of match, and so I think it's just going to come down to the Undisputed Era and the New Day, in which when the numbers come into play, you know, I think that's what's going to happen. So I think I'm going with the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I'm missing that. You understand that NXT has their pay-per-view the day before Survivor Series. You think that they're going to handle that? And you never even know what conditions that they're going to be in going on to the next day. So that's why I say my safest bet was the New Day, because they are the freshest tag team that haven't been, besides that little small attack and stuff like that. Really, the New Day has been on the low key, looking at the whole entire picture. So All right, we'll just keep that in mind. And
Shock
again, I
the
haven't
system.
seen Frank's picks yet. All right, so it'll be shocking to see what he picked. I bet you it was the Viking Raiders. I bet you.
I bet you picked like Legion of Doom or something. Just out of nowhere.
Another possibility of the main event is the men's Survivor Series elimination match. Now, this one is still incomplete, but we have Team Raw, which consists of Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and Ricochet, versus Team SmackDown, that consists of Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Ali, Shorty G, and Braun Strowman, versus Team NXT, where the names will be available by Friday evening or by Friday post the NXT TakeOver. But with that in mind, on SmackDown, we may see some turbulence within Team SmackDown because there is a 6-man tag that consists of the SmackDown match with Roman Reigns, Ali, Shorty G versus King Corbin and Ziggler and Rude. All right, because there's some unfinished business. King Corbin doesn't like who's in the team. He feels like these guys, Rude and Ziggler, deserve to be in the match. But then again, Ali and Shorty G, them two, which really they're very, very underrated. But again, I just can't see this team function, and then it's just like, hey, when in doubt, Roman Reigns is going to save the day. And I don't feel like that's going to really happen going into the Survivor Series. I think whoever is Team NXT, and I'm going to make a prediction right now, the 3 main men that I'm going to expect to be on that team is Ciampa, Tommaso Ciampa, Kevin Lee, and Matt Riddle.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, excuse me.
Bask in his glory.
They got me, man. And I'm a Matt Riddle fan. All right. This guy got the longest legs, former UFC. Them legs are like arms. I mean, this guy's like the bionic man, just jumping out of anywhere. And from what I've seen the last 3 weeks of this guy, I mean, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, make it happen. And I think what is going to happen in this match, Kevin Owens is going to turn on Seth Rollins. He really is. Because keeping in mind, Triple H, and this is my opinion, I think he had Kevin Owens sold, convinced to go over NXT. Then he got jumped by the Undisputed Era. Okay? Was not to say that Kevin Owens turns his back on Seth Rollins, right? Goes back to NXT and runs wild all over Adam Cole and the whole entire Undisputed Era. With now he got Ciampa on his back and everything else. I mean, this drama could go everywhere. So that's what I really do expect. And who knows who else is going to be on Team NXT. Maybe Finn Balor will jump in that match and be part of NXT.
Yeah, who knows? We will see.
So, but that's my prediction. If there's anyone, I think Team NXT will win the Men's Survivor Series elimination match.
Right. I have to agree with you. There's too much turmoil, too much bickering, too much hostility between the teams for Raw and SmackDown. Even Randy Orton and Ricochet are something there and something might not be there. We don't know there. Kevin Owens, I do think he was sold on Triple H's pitch. And when the announcement was made that NXT will be going to USA and live TV and how they would be slowly incorporating WWE superstars from Raw and SmackDown to NXT to help go up against AEW, one of the first names everyone talked about was Kevin Owens, and I think that will happen. And you hit the nail on the head. Something will happen in this match to go there. Roman Reigns and King Corbin, along with, King Corbin, Ali, and Shorty G, nothing's going to click there. Braun Strowman's Braun Strowman. He might, he's going to kick ass, but I don't know if he can carry the team itself. Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, those three, regardless, you could put no names, you could put jobbers out there with them. I'm going to root for them. You're going to bask in Team NXT's glory.
And
this
let me add one note
Sunday.
to that with the Kevin Owens. And I have to give credit to Frank because a while back he did mention that Kevin Owens, before NXT got on USA, he was saying and stating that possibility Kevin Owens was going to go to NXT.
Yeah.
And if that was the case, man, he was just right on. It just took a little longer, but we'll see. Because at the same time, was not to say that Seth Rollins turned his back and go to NXT. I don't see it happening, to be honest with you, because he is the head guy of Raw.
Face, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I do. I'm leading on Kevin Owens, to be honest with you. What do you say, Hector?
I agree with both of you, but I have a different way of seeing this. Okay, I'm going with Team NXT, but for a different reason here. Nobody has mentioned Imperium.
Ooh.
Okay, NXT UK has put themselves in this invasion because they attacked Seth Rollins.
Holy.
Okay, and they have attacked Raw. Who's to say they find a fifth member, which could be KO or someone else outside like a Ciampa, and get in there and take over? Yeah, I get it. I thought about this. NXT is going to be worn out with war games, but Raw and SmackDown can't seem to get along with each other. So I think that gives the advantage to NXT to a certain degree. And going into this 5-on-5, I think the men's NXT is going to win this. But let's not forget Imperium. They got some big guys. Walter is a huge monster. And what if he's in this to go after Braun Strowman? You know, just to put himself on the map. You know, he's over. They've already shown up once. Who's to say they can show up again? You
I don't
know?
even
So
think
let's not
Braun Strowman
let's
can
not
handle
forget
Walter's
about them.
slaps.
That's. I didn't even see that, and I'm glad you addressed that because if you have Walter, his crew could be sidelined, watching in, and if you see Walter getting into trouble, they can interfere.
Exactly.
And there is no
So that's why I'm
disqualification on those elimination that I know
So
of.
that's
There's no
why-
disqualification.
That's why I'm going with the men's side. Yeah.
Should be interesting.
I like that.
I
Good
like
call.
that, too.
Good call. Speaking about interesting, Hector's going to lead off on this one, is the Women's Survivor Series. So we got Team Raw with Charlotte Flair, Natalya, the Kabuki Warriors, and Sarah Logan versus Team SmackDown, Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross versus Team NXT, which we don't have the names yet, okay? But of all that's happened from start to finish, Hector, you lead the way. You're up.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head on this one because I like the fact that NXT is actually keeping their teams secret on a quiet note here. I like this, but I'm looking at Team Raw on this one. I think they're a little more stable than SmackDown is, you know, and I don't think anybody that they put on NXT is going to take down Raw. I like Charlotte Flair's team. I mean, I think they're pretty steady there, especially with the Kabuki Warriors. You know, Asuka, she's got this little devilish way now. She's probably going to spray everybody's green mist. There's going to be green mist everywhere. I hope she's got enough to be spitting everywhere because she may be knocking everybody out for all I know. But with Charlotte
Paint
Flair
the ring
there,
green.
I mean, I think they're going to pull this one out. So I got Team Raw on this one.
All right. I've been saying all night NXT TakeOver Survivor Series. NXT needs this bump. They need this rub from the top, from SmackDown and Raw, because they are in a battle against AEW, and NXT is great, and people aren't talking about it. This NXT, this reminds me of last year. Last year, SmackDown invaded the last episode, the last Raw before Survivor Series. That's where Becky was all bloody and stuff. But Raw won every single match. Everyone's invaded NXT. But NXT is going to win every single match. And that's going to be here as well. If you're looking for Team NXT, it's probably going to be the teams that are in the War Games matches, the the Friday before. So that means Rhea Ripley. I love Nikki Cross, but I love Rhea Ripley more. She is a badass. Dakota Kai, awesome. Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano's wife, amazing. Tegan Knox, also awesome. Mia Yim, also awesome. This is a solid team, and NXT TakeOver Survivor Series will be a thing, as they will clean sweep the whole pay-per-view, bringing everyone's eyes to NXT, to the better product that I have been preaching about this whole time.
They might have a better product, but let's put this in reality. NXT is not going to sweep across. It's not going to happen. Especially SmackDown on Fox. It's just not going to happen. And the reason why I say SmackDown on Fox is that I'm going to pick the biggest underdog in this match, and that'll be Team SmackDown. I think that Nikki Cross is the important piece of the roster here. The very important person, and she got drafted high, all right? And they traded for her. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I love Nikki Cross.
And I think between Nikki Cross and Carmella, this is Carmella at her best when it comes to pay-per-view moments, because she always shines. She might not shine during the regular episodes and segments and stuff like that.
When she's running around with R-Truth.
But this is the part where Carmella and Nikki Cross will do their thing. I'm not sold on Sasha Banks, but she's been on the down low of stuff, right? Dana Brooke, she's now coming into the picture. She's been like in the background, but this is her opportunity to show herself all the hard work she's done. She's done so much live events. Finally, she gets an opportunity. As far as Team Raw is concerned, I'm just not sold. I mean, Sarah Logan came out of nowhere. Charlotte Flair, she's Charlotte Flair, but in this circumstance, I don't think that they have enough to lean forward. Team NXT, I don't know who's going to be on Team NXT. Yeah, I think they're the baddest woman there is, but because I don't know who's going to be in there, I could only assume, but I think the advantage was going to go to Team SmackDown. I really do. Hector? No, he picked Team Raw already.
Yeah,
All right, that's fine.
I picked Raw.
All right. Yeah. And then lastly, right now, as what we know so far, all right, is the NXT Championship between Adam Cole, and he is the champion, and he awaits the winner between Killian Dane, Damian Priest, and Pete Dunne on the NXT TakeOver War Games that's happening that Saturday night. The winner will face Adam Cole, and regardless who wins, Adam Cole is going to be the winner he's going to remain the NXT champion.
Undisputed Era, shock the system. Adam Cole, baby.
All right. Hector?
It's not cold here in Texas, but I'm going with AC, Adam Cole.
All right, that's what's up. And this pick is not counted, but the NXT Cruiserweight Championship will be on the kickoff show with Lio Rush versus Angel Garza. These two guys have a small rival that's happening. So it's going to be exciting. So if you're into speed, crazy moves, and all that stuff, that's the match you got to see, because they're going to start it off right. They're going to set the tempo for the Survivor Series, and they picked the best two wrestlers right now to lead off on the kickoff show.
Yeah, I love Lio Rush. He's great, and there's just something about Angel Garza that just gives me the Eddie Guerrero. I just hear that in the back of my voice, in the back of my head whenever I see him. I just a voice going, Eddie Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero. I don't know, but I'm excited for this match. I love both these guys. Should be a great tone setter for a phenomenal NXT TakeOver Survivor Series card.
This is by far the hardest picks that I could ever imagine since we started doing this show.
Oh yeah,
It is.
And we all have our points. What are your points? Go ahead, write them comments down. We'll share them with everybody. We're gonna have a post Survivor Series episode after on Monday. hopefully, if all goes well. And we're going to announce who is going to be the winner. It's amazing. I just can't wait. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Survivor Series on the WWE Network. If you haven't been a subscriber, that's the time to do it. That's the only way you could watch it.
Make a fake email, get a free trial,
get a free
watch
trial
it.
and
You
disconnect.
don't want to miss it.
I bet you so many people have done that, man.
Oh, yeah, I've done it multiple times.
Anyhow, before we let you go, this show is brought to you by Clovercrest Media Group. If you're passionate about being on the podcast, passionate about editing, audio, all that stuff, Clovercrest Media Group is the place. Okay, if you're interested in putting it all together to start your own podcast, if so, check out Clover Media Group. Come and join the podcast family. We belong to the Clovercrest Media, and again, we've worked very hard, and we are getting very lucky.
Yeah, we are.
Hard work. We're here on this platform, and if you're interested, by all means, go to clovercrestmedia.com, and you can learn more on their website. Also, Keys to the City. They are my rival. Because there's a certain person over there who is an Ohio State fan. They talk about sports. The brothers, they always argue with each other. But I think, like Aleister Black says, they want to pick a fight with me. And that's right. So anyways, check them out.
I'll be on their show tomorrow.
That's right. You'll be on there. Also, join about the G-Man, my boy Big Jace. He's the host of the show. And, of course, here, you can always catch us on...
Facebook.
On Facebook, hhwshow.com has all the information with the blogs, videos. Check out our YouTube channel on hhwshow.com for more. And that pretty much wraps it up here. It really is. Hector, thank you for calling in. We'll talk later. Jace, thank you once again. And on behalf of everybody, thank you for joining our show. And until next week, check us out Monday for the results. Adios.